maybe it's just these headphones. God only knows. Who cares?
No.
The microphone is all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's all. That's
Yay.
all. We're here.
Oh my God, we're here. We're doing it.
How do you want to start this?
Oh gosh, I mean,
Hi, I'm Trixie.
yeah, right? Yeah, I know. It's one of the, I mean, but probably something similar to that effect, and just like, because we are calling it the Old Souls podcast. Is that what we're calling it?
We can call it the Old Souls Club. It can be a continuation of it.
Oh, I like Old Souls Club. I'm into that. My favorite movie is First Wives Club, so like, that totally works.
That works.
Because I feel like that would totally work, and then we just kind of go from there. I mean, you know, it's like a pilot episode. We're just figuring shit out.
That's it. That's the intro right there.
Yeah.
All right, so intro's done. That is the intro. Michael and Gerry trying to figure out what the intro should be.
Exactly.
The Old Souls Club.
And then we black out with that, and I think it does it. I think that totally defines us as Old Souls, as being like technology, because man, this has been trying. So but we're here now. We're here. It's the Old Souls Club, and I think that we don't know how to do this to begin with really makes it work. Like it pops. That's branding. Is trying to just make it.
It adds to the brand.
Oh,
the Old Soul, to the you know, we don't have anybody in the control room. It's just us.
No, it's just us and some USB stuff. That's it.
That's it. And
that
some
is
cheap
it.
Microphones from Amazon. That's it.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, if y'all only knew. But here we are. So yay, Old Souls Club. It's something that you and we both have heard our entire lives.
Forever
I'm sure.
And ever. Yes.
I don't even know. I probably started being like having people call me an old soul. I mean, my age wasn't even double digits yet. I'm sure. Like it. You know, I know it started when I was super, super young, because I was obsessed at such a young age with watching I Love Lucy and the Munsters and the Addams Family. Like I absorbed those shows. Golden Girls came a little later. Yeah. You know, maybe I was like 11 or 12. But the fact that I was watching all of those shows from the get-go, and I was referencing them all the time, even at school, the teachers knew. You know, I think that's probably where it started, was, you know, being told there at like church. You know, I think that's when it started for me, being called an old soul. What about you?
Same, around the same time. Early adolescence, probably like 3 or 4 years old. And maybe that was the case for me too. I don't know. Totally. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't before long we were, you know, putting up bed sheets and you know, making them as curtains and getting little props around the house and putting on shows for friends and family
all the time. And
that's what happens.
Yes. And you know, of course I did that too. And I had to coerce my sister. So I have two siblings. I'm the oldest, and my sister and I are 20 months apart. My sister Mary and my brother Matthew and I were 9 years apart. So I had to coerce my sister.
Wait. Matthew, Mary, and Michael?
We're the 3 M's. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, no, so the 3 M's, and I used to coerce her to get her to do shows with me, and she drove a hard bargain. I had to do things like clean her room for her to get her to do it, or, you know, it was like $1. You know what I mean? Like, you know, only getting like, you know, $2 a week in allowance, or like $2.50. You know, I would literally give her like half my allowance to do all these shows with me. But we had so much fun doing it. So, you know, I knew from an early age that actors needed to be paid. So my sister did not work for free, and I was happy to clean her room or give her $1. But I mean, you know, she demanded, and I delivered. Way to
go, Mary.
Yeah, right. I'm very, very lucky, but she played along. She sure did.
I know. I hear it. I got everyone to be a part of it. I got my sister to be involved too. My sister Erica, she's younger, 3 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And, she is the complete opposite in every way. Okay. She was the athlete, I was the performer. So it was, you know.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, we got to put on a show, or, you know, because I got introduced into the world of being an old soul, and then eventually, to where I am now. When I first started watching the Three Stooges.
Oh,
So my father got me started watching the Three Stooges, probably 4 or 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of snowballed.
Oh yeah.
And then Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my dad too. He had why am I speaking past tense? He still has them. The VHSs of the Abbott and Costello show was like 4 episodes to a cassette. And I think he had like 15 VHSs, something like that, but he had all their films too, and we had Three Stooges, all of that, and then what we didn't have, the library did, so I would get out those VHSs all the time of like the little the Three Stooges shorts, and same with the Our Gang comedies. That was
the Little Rascal.
Oh, I loved those, and my parents would give me as like report card gifts. If I got a good report card,
if you did good in school.
I would get like a new Our Gang comedies tape or a new Lucy tape, an Addams Family tape, that kind of thing, and that was like, oh, I would cherish this. Of course, I saved all of them, because they're special. Like they're in a box in the closet, but I still have them. I can't get rid of them. They're part of my own personal history.
They're part of your foundation.
Yes, and and for you as well. Did you have like the VHSs too, or did your dad?
I still have them.
You still have them. Yes.
I still have mostly a lot of the. Once the VHSs started becoming a little bit more obsolete, and DVDs were a thing, and then eventually Blu-rays, I would buy a lot of them that I had on tape. I would get them on DVD because it was for whatever it was kind of going in that direction. Now we have Blu-ray and all that good stuff. But I'm looking at my little shelf there, and I have all the seasons of Three's Company on DVD.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I kind of switched. If I really, really enjoyed an Abbott and Costello film, like When They Met Frankenstein, or Hold That Ghost, or just, we can go on forever.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my favorite is Whodunit. I'm obsessed.
It's great.
With Whodunit. Oh, it's so good, and they're all still just as funny.
They're still funny, and they're still silly, and they're so. There wasn't too much of a lesson involved, except I think the sillier you are, the more of a fun and fancy-free life you will live. You won't be wound up so tight like so many people are, especially now.
Right.
So there wasn't too much behind it. There was they all came from vaudeville.
That's just it. They all came from vaudeville. They knew they just had such a foundation from that. They knew what they were doing and how to, and brilliantly transfer that to the screen and then eventually television, because they just followed the medium. Similarly, like what you just said, how you went from VHS to DVD. You're following
now to Blu-ray. Yeah.
Right. Now Blu-ray. You're following the medium of what we enjoy, and they did the same thing. If they were going to share their work, their art, they had to follow the medium. I guess you could say vaudeville, radio, TV, film, it's just that's how they did it.
You follow whatever. I mean, now you saying that out loud makes me think, oh God, I guess I do have to post more on TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok yet. I really should. But I'm trying to do better with Instagram, and because even like as actors and performers, we're having to try to follow the mediums, and of course right now with the actors strike and the writers guild strike, we're following the mediums the best we can, and kind of doing the best we can and creating within our means and supporting what's happening in the world and in our industry too.
Correct. But I from what I see and from what people are talking about, the rich just get richer.
Yeah.
And the poor people need to stay. The peasants need to stay. They need to stay in their in their spot of the world.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know.
I don't try to that's why I have to escape, as we all do, whether it be through live entertainment or
Right.
something that makes us feel amazing, like
Yeah.
having, a I Love Lucy box set on DVD. It's
Oh my
just
gosh,
something.
it's one of my most cherished items.
I
Absolutely.
seriously, or this,
Yeah.
or what's new Scooby Doo, or just I just
Yeah.
it's there are these things that yeah, instead of me getting angry at the world and throwing my fists in the air and saying, God, why? No, you just need to pop in
Exactly.
a DVD or go to a concert or go see these legendary performers while they're still here.
Yeah.
This is
Oh boy, that's a thing.
all
Right.
temporary. This is all temporary.
Exactly. And I think, what you just said of like putting in a DVD of, like the I Love Lucy box set, Scooby Doo.
Anything, Three's
I,
Company, anything.
right. I think that's why people that identify as old souls like we do, and I'm sure many who do, I feel like for myself, I always have, I'm very much an eternal optimist. I'm very optimistic. And I think
Yes.
because I cherish these shows and these movies, because, like you said earlier, they're just, it's lighthearted, it's entertainment. It doesn't have to be the biggest message. It can
No.
still be a message, but I think that's what keeps it going for us is we get to have that escape, and because it brings us just the most joy all the time in whatever capacity, like we carry that in our everyday lives, I feel, and people notice it.
Yes. I was gonna say I, I know that you're also an optimist, but you're also a positive person.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
sure, and a lot of people like me, they look at us like, what's wrong with this person? They're
they
just
look at
all
us like we're
perky
crazy.
and perky all the time, perky and positive. And it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, because I'm not taking everything so seriously.
yeah.
I realize that, yes, we're all just passing through the
Hmm.
revolving door of life.
Hmm.
Um, you want to find good people to share it with, and laugh a lot, and
Yeah.
not take it too seriously. And yes, we are products of being old souls, of the people in our lives,
Right.
family, chosen family, friends. You are a reflection of that. So if you're around miserable people who
Hmm.
who are saying the sky is falling every day, you are a product of that. You will lead with that.
Right.
But
100%.
and so now, why not be um hopefully a light or a little inspiration for other people in our desired fields or not,
Yeah.
in everyday, going to the grocery store, picking up this, just situations. Why
Yeah.
not just leave the room or the world or whatever
Hmm.
uh just a little bit brighter than how you
Yes.
found it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But not most people are conditioned to not think like that, because we are imperfect, perfect human beings, and
Hmm.
financial struggle, the struggle with finding affordable house care,
Oh yeah. Listen,
health care,
hey, both those things. It's both of those things.
housing, yes, and the
Yeah.
list goes on and on and on. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
so easy for us as human beings to be just completely negative and
Hmm.
and miserable, because we're conditioned.
Right.
Uh,
And we also went through the pandemic and everything, and that
yes,
really took a toll on everyone in its own way. Everyone came out of that, as a changed person. We all
yeah,
did,
whether negative or positive.
right, right. We all went through the a change with that,
Yeah,
and our perspective of the world. It's changed. Some for the better, maybe some for the worse. It really depends on the person. It just does.
yeah. I think because I look at it now as that was part of our superpower. That was part of our little magic trick. That I would assume
Hmm.
you are like me, in the sense of kids our own age had no fucking idea what we were talking about.
None. They had no clue.
No
You know,
idea.
no idea. Even, for Halloween, when I was 10 years old, I was Herman Munster for Halloween, and it was like the legit, like, licensed trademark Herman Munster mask, and we got it at Spencer's because that's where they sold it. And my mom made me my Herman Munster suit, but I had like the mask, right? And I won the costume contest at school, and the announcer called me Frankenstein. And I got so mad because I said, I'm Herman Munster. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And my mom, on the sides was just like, stop it, just say thank you. But I was like, I'm offended. I'm Herman Munster. I'm not Frankenstein. Like, come on, people. I'm like, whoever, announced it, they're the ones that probably watched it as it aired. I'm watching it on Nick at Night, Munster Monday. Hey, but yes, I was that kid. I was so that kid.
This is serious business.
I was very serious, and
Being
I was
an old soul is serious business.
Yes, and I was very offended at that age. But I remember it clear as day. And yeah, people didn't know what to make of me as a kid. They definitely didn't. And especially kids my own age. They had no idea, no clue.
No, you were ostracized immediately. Because you weren't, quote, in.
Yeah.
In. No. I would have lengthier conversations with the instructors, with the school secretary, with the guidance counselor. One thing that sticks out in my mind, I was 5th grade. We had moved to a new town in a new county. And,
okay.
And I remember, I didn't know anybody. We had cousins in the school district. But other than that, not a soul. And I remember speaking to the guidance counselor. Her name is Joanna Biederman. Mm-hmm. And I just remembered looking at her face, and I was in 5th grade, and I said to her, you look like Carol Burnett. And I still to this day holds on to that story and said, I remember when you were in the 5th grade and you looked at me and I said, first of all, she's like, I said, who is this kid? Yeah. 1. And 2, how the hell does he know that?
Yeah.
How does he know that?
Yeah.
So that's just one of the many things that stick out, where it's like kids our own age had no idea what planet we were from. And it was the adults, or it was the people eventually when you start acting classes or voice lessons. Right. It's those people who speak the same language.
Yeah, and it was always adults for me. It really was. Like, yes, I did have friends that were my own age, and that maybe they didn't fully understand it, but we were still friends. Like, it worked out. It was cool. Yeah. But it was definitely the adults and teachers and that understood me. I think maybe, when you look back on it, you kind of don't realize that you'd have the idea of like chosen family at that young of an age when you start, finding the adults that did understand you. Yeah. Because growing up, I'm from Jamestown, New York, Lucille Ball's hometown, and I volunteered at the Lucy Desi Museum from 99 till about 2007, 2008. So like, formative years. It's like middle school, high school.
Totally.
And
while most people are going to baseball practice and taking ballet classes,
right?
You volunteered at the Lucille Ball Museum.
Yes, exactly. And I so looked forward to I was doing that. I was in community theater. I was a part of a kids singing group. We were called the Junior Guilders that I was lucky to travel with. And it was like, these were, the things that I did. And we had 2 festivals a year. Now there's just one festival that's actually happening this weekend. There were 2 festivals. There was the Lucy Desi Days and then Lucille Ball's birthday celebration. And during those 2 festivals, like, I made friends with so many adults, and those were, for me, those weekends were a really big deal, because I was like, now I'm seeing my friends. I had friends from all over the country that understood me, and and probably knew more about myself, or they knew more about me than I knew about myself
at the time.
You know what I'm saying? At the time, like, they knew what I was going to grow up to be. Like, they could see that in me, and I didn't know that about myself yet, but they understood me. They spoke the same language. Like, obviously we were all Lucy fans. That was like one language, but they understood all the other things that I was interested in, not just theater, but my other, the TV shows, the films, Broadway, especially Broadway. Like they understood I could talk to them, and it was always very exciting. And, my mom would sign me out of school for the festival. The one festival was in May, so I was allowed to skip school. That was okay. I got, I signed that, brought in that note that was like, Michael will not be in school. He will be volunteering. And they loved it. They were like, he's volunteering. Great.
Great.
Right? Like all schools love that volunteer work. And I did, but it was just a party for me. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were in your element. You were in your element. You were finding people. You were finding your tribe at a young age. I'm sure you're still connected with some of these people.
Oh, I absolutely am. Very grateful to be still connected with them. And
oh yeah, some of these old queens were like, oh, that Michael.
Oh, yeah, they knew.
He's gonna own some pieces of Lucy's wardrobe one day. Oh.
And they were 100% right. Yes, they knew. And on some level, maybe I did know. I don't remember, but but they were right. They nailed it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I can barely remember what I did this morning. Being an unmedicated weirdo who has ADHD. Please, I barely remember what I said 10 minutes ago. So I'm learning to put periods at the end of my sentences. That is something that I'm currently boom.
Listen, and sometimes that's hard because we all have when you got a million thoughts, you just want to let them out.
A million thoughts, a million ideas. That's why and a lot of old souls I've been connected with through social media.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Which is very, very cool. I think it's a frequency thing. It's a spiritual thing to where if you say, oh, I'm looking for my tribe, or, oh, I really want to do something like this, or a podcast, or I really want to write a script about whatever.
Right.
There have been more than a few instances within the past year or two that those things have been coming to fruition, or the universe has been putting said people in front. We've been friends for years.
Yeah, we have been.
And now it's just like...
we always do as creative people. We always have a million ideas, but it's finding it's all about the timing too. And you're right with like the people that come into your life when it all clicks and you go, aha, now's the time to do it. Collaboration. Like I've always wanted to do a podcast. I always have, but it's like, but about what? How? You know what I mean? It's like, it's just all got to line up because we've been friends for years, and whether people know or not, that you are a part of the Golden Gays, you're a founding member.
That's me.
That's you, and you've been doing this for a number of years now, traveling the country and and doing cruises, and you have this fabulous Golden Girls drag troupe, and we met doing Thank You for Being a Friend, the Golden Girls musical. Ships in the Passing, I was a Sophia, you came in as the new Rose, and so it's like that's where you and I started bonding, and we knew right away as old souls, and then we then discovered like our love for Jim Bailey and
Charles Pierce, Danny LaRue, all these character actors, female impersonators who pay homage to all of the people that we grew up loving. So then it's another layer on this cake. On this old soul cake.
Listen, let it be a cheesecake, an old soul cheesecake.
Oh God! Just get rid of the cobwebs, and I'll scarf it down.
Yes, and for people who are listening, if you have not seen these people, Jim Bailey, like look them up on YouTube because you will be amazed. Like it's true artistry that not a lot of people know about, or even like do today. We
forget. We quickly forget.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and it's nothing new.
No, it's nothing.
And Jim
new.
Bailey was doing it,
and
45, 50
flawlessly,
years ago.
Right, and brilliantly had his own TV specials. He was commissioned by the Queen to perform in England. He did that amazing Here's Lucy episode. With
Phyllis
Diller, which was one of his usual characters too. And I mean, you do a double take when you watch it. You really think it's Phyllis Diller. It's wild. And I think he was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he operatically trained, and that's how he figured out he could do these voices?
Yes, I believe. Yeah, he was doing because I think earlier on he was doing a lot of chorus work.
Yes.
And then it kind of snowballed from there. I
Right.
have to do a little bit more. Shame on me.
Yeah.
But I want to, because I think we can have a whole episode of talking about all of the
We literally could. I mean,
impersonators.
everything that we're talking about right now, like, I mean, we were joking before starting this, is like, this is our pilot episode, if you will, because we're talking about so many different things that influence us. Like, we could, like, we literally could do an episode about these impersonators that we love, about so many things that we've talked about. Our love for Abbott and Costello is one,
Oh my God.
that. Like, we could easily do that, and that's the fun stuff about with all of this.
You could do anything you want. It's like a pinball.
Anything.
It's like a pinball game.
Oh,
it's like,
we're the wizards. We're the pinball wizards.
We're the pinball wizards, baby.
It was right there. I had to. It was right there.
Going, because I'm working on putting my,
the
end of story. Period.
Yes. Oh, I get it. I know.
Going back to chatting about the Golden Girls.
Oh yes.
Thank you for saying that. The Golden Gays. Yeah.
Yes.
We just turned 6 back in June, and it's crazy. It's wild. Yeah. It's over the top. It's exhausting. It's beautiful. Yeah, and one thing earlier on we learned to say was we have to say yes to the opportunities where yes is being presented.
Yes,
because as actors and as hungry creative people, we knock on a lot of doors. We knock on a lot of doors, and whether it be an actual door, an email, a phone call, a lot of times people do not and will not answer our advances.
Right.
Hey, I want to bring my solo show to your town. It's in the vein of Jim Bailey, Charles Pierce. It's a one-woman show.
Yeah.
And I change on stage. It's kind of like what Craig Russell did. And I've been doing that for a couple of years. So now it's knocking on these doors. But from what I take from it is, if you don't have 1 trillion followers on these social media platforms, agents, managers, theaters, they don't even give you a second glance. So it's they don't. Nobody wants to take a chance on something that isn't already bankable.
Right.
Oh, well, we could put this kid in. He's on TikTok. We'll put him on. We'll put him in Mean Girls, and we'll sell some tickets.
Yeah, I know it, and it happens. It happens.
Absolutely happens.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that, going back to Golden Girls, the fact that we are able to get into these spaces and work with such legendary performers, the list goes on and on and on. And some of our friends with you, and just amazing. So the fact that we can kind of get into these places in the guise of the Golden Girls is amazing. Yeah, it's variety. Variety is the spice of life.
Variety is the spice of life. It really is.
And being an old soul, you have to. I think we want to do so many things that have inspired us over the years. That have lifted us. That hopefully we reintroduce to the world and will lift others.
Yeah, and that's just it. I think even with you just saying variety is the spice of life, it's variety is really, I think, what makes up an old soul, because it's so many different things we cling to and cherish, be it, yes, we've talked the TV and film, but it can very much be books. It can just be certain music, there are so many different things out there, visual art, that just make you, that you just collect, and you take little bits of this and that, and
you can see a greeting card at the drama bookshop that you're like, I still have it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is speaking to me right now. I need to take this with me.
Yes.
And then that goes into like what we've said about physical media. It's actually this is something that inspired me from the early age, or this is something that found me later on in life, or whatever. And I think it's very important. I think old souls have a tough time being minimalists. Would you agree?
Yes.
As you look around,
as I look around my room with these mannequins and toys and things. Yeah,
honey, can we get another mannequin in here, please?
Oh my gosh, the joke is, and it's true. My boyfriend, he's like, he's a flight attendant, and he came home from a trip, and there was another mannequin, and there was another costume on it, and he goes, "Oh my god, is this gonna happen again?" And I was like, it might.
I mean, at this point, we just have little mini museums.
Yes, we do, and it's. I think it's also I've created joy within my space based on like my old soulness. You know what I mean? Yeah, you yes. Get it, and it's collecting yes. these items because I've been a collector for over 20 years now of TV film memorabilia, and it's what it excites me. It's creative in a different way. It's so much fun for me, and I'm starting to share my collection with people. So because everyone asks what the hell is in my collection, and now I'm showing it, and it's people see that it brings me joy as much as doing starting this podcast with you. If I'm on stage, if I'm rehearsing a script, it's just finding the joys of all the different things, and it's just and then you put it all together into a beautiful cheesecake and have a slice.
Perpetual joy, and yes. There are going to be people who listen to this being like, I know, yeah. They're so fucking sweet and positive and
that's
joyful.
Right. I know,
and it's true, and fine if people want to do it, but I hope that from anything you take from it is you feed off of the joy that we have.
Yes.
Because this joy has been passed on to us in the form of being able what we really want to do. We have always been, I assume from you telling me about your background and your family, that you've been applauded for being yourself. And
yes.
and so have I. So why not be that for other people, whether it's in the industry or not?
Right. I think I totally agree.
Share that joy.
It's share the joy, and I think doing this podcast is a perfect way to do it, to still continue to share the joy. Be it a visual representation, or in this case, it's audio. Who cares? We're just sharing the joy, and I think that's the whole mission of it. That's the whole mission. Share the joy, and for those that listen, we hope you get you get some smiles out of this, maybe some laughs. That's our whole message, is to just have joy. Have joy.
Have joy. Have a slice of joy.
Have a slice of joy. Ooh, is that the catchphrase? Have a slice of joy? Ooh, I like that. Ooh.
That could be the tag. That could be the tagline.
I'm very into that. Yes.
Why not? Why not? It's so, if you allow it to be, it's so effortless.
Yeah, exactly.
And allow it, where do I start? Where do I do this? Well, I don't know. Start by watching your favorite movie. How does that make you feel? How does seeing The Wizard of Oz for the 1200th time make you feel? And then just try to radiate that forward.
Right.
And then do another thing. And then do another thing. And then do another thing. Yeah. And that's the thing. No matter what people are going through, no matter what crazy chaos that is happening on this day or this week or this month or this year, have a slice of joy with us, and hopefully it will inspire and uplift to maybe, I don't know, do better within your life, maybe your community, maybe your desired field. Because that's my, because I think being an old soul and being a spiritual person are very much the same thing.
Yes, they are.
They are very, very much the same thing.
Because we're tuned into a frequency that we're tuned into it, and we've allowed it to happen. We've openly accepted this energy and stay with that. We've stayed with that vibe.
Yeah, we don't shy it away. We don't try to turn it off. We don't try to walk away from it. We embrace it, and we're finally allowing ourselves as a world, as a species, to just accept ourselves for all of our quirks and our imperfect, perfect traits, and with that, life might throw you a curveball in the sense of, Zoom says you have less than a minute.
I know we have less than a minute.
And sometimes you just have to go with that.
And that's okay.
Sometimes you have less than a minute. But
that's right.
But as long as you're laughing and sharing it with people that fuel you,
then you win. You're winning.
That's it.
The glass is half full. It is half full.
Yay! And that's the pilot episode.
And that's our pilot episode. Have a slice of life and joy.
I love it. I love
that.
That's great. There it is.
We did it.